Right then, buckle up, because things are heating up in Glasgow. Rangers look to be on the verge of a seismic shift in the dugout, with reports now suggesting that Kevin Muscat is set to be appointed as the new head coach. And let me tell you, this isn't just a routine managerial switch. This one feels like the beginning of something bigger, the start of a new chapter that could shake things up both on and off the pitch. Now, Muscat's name has been floating around Ibrox for a while, right? It's not the first time he's been linked, and every time it's brought up, the reactions from fans are mixed. Excitement from some, hesitation from others. But now, it seems like there's no more speculation. The deal is as good as done, and the Australian is preparing to make his long-awaited return to Glasgow. For a club in desperate need of stability, identity, and a clear direction, this move could be exactly what was needed, or a massive gamble. That's the beauty and the risk of football, especially at a club like Rangers where the margin for error is razor thin. Muscat isn't just showing up out of nowhere, though. The guy's got pedigree. He's made a serious name for himself overseas. Success in Japan, strong tactical identity, a reputation for building high-tempo, aggressive teams. He comes from the Ange Postecoglou school of thought, but with his own twist, and that alone brings an interesting dynamic to the Scottish game. You look at how Postecoglou transformed Celtic, and you start to wonder, could Muscat bring something similar to the blue side of Glasgow? But while the managerial side of things might be taking shape, there's another storm brewing quietly in the background, one that could derail everything before it even gets going. And that storm has a name, Nico Raskin. Now, if you've been following Rangers this season, you know Raskin's been one of the few bright spots in an otherwise turbulent time. The Belgian midfielder has been a standout performer, showing composure, tenacity, and that engine you need to survive and thrive in Scottish football. But it's not just fans at Ibrox who've been paying attention. Down south, in the Premier League, clubs are sniffing around, and one name that's popped up recently is none other than Tottenham Hotspur. Under Thomas Frank. Yes, the same Thomas Frank who's just taken over at Spurs. The North London club is starting to reshape their identity. They've had a solid start, with wins stacking up and a new energy running through the squad. And Frank, known for his smart recruitment and building balanced teams, is already drawing up plans for the future. According to reports, one of the players he's got his eye on is Raskin. At 24 years old, with top-flight experience and international caps for Belgium, Raskin ticks a lot of boxes for a club like Spurs. Young, technical, versatile, and still developing. Let's be honest, if Spurs come calling, that's a hard offer to turn down. Premier League money, bigger stage, potential European football, it's everything a player dreams of. But from Rangers' perspective, the timing couldn't be worse. No permanent manager in place just yet, a team still trying to find its footing, and now the risk of losing one of your most important midfielders? That's a triple threat. It's not just rumors either. Over the summer, Raskin was already on the radar of several clubs. He chose to stay put at Ibrox, maybe believing in the project, maybe hoping for a strong campaign. But with the club in flux and no clear long-term strategy visible at the time, it's fair to say his patience might not last forever. Especially if his stock keeps rising, which it is. His performance for Belgium during the international break, particularly in the win over Wales, drew massive praise. Outlets in his home country called him composed, intelligent, a player with presence in the middle of the park. You better believe that kind of praise travels fast. And here's where it gets really tricky. Raskin's current deal runs until the summer of 2027. So technically, Rangers are in a strong position contract-wise. But we all know how the market works. Contracts protect value, but they don't stop players from wanting out if the right offer lands on the table. If Spurs, or any other top club, come in with serious money, the board might have to make a decision. Hold firm and risk keeping an unhappy player, or cash in and use the funds to rebuild under the new manager. Some fans will say Raskin should be untouchable, and honestly, based on performances, it's hard to argue against that. He's been at the heart of everything Rangers have done well lately, breaking up play, launching attacks, covering ground. He's your classic box-to-box engine, and in a squad that's been lacking leadership and spark, he's often looked like one of the few players willing to take responsibility. Letting someone like that go during a rebuild could send the wrong message. But on the other hand, maybe Muscat's arrival changes the equation. Maybe a new manager, with a fresh vision and a clear plan, is exactly what's needed to convince Raskin to buy into the project again. If Muscat can sit him down, show him where he fits into the team, and convince him that success is coming, not in 5 years, but now, maybe there's still a way to hold on to him. That's where leadership off the pitch becomes just as important as quality on it. Now, let's go back to Muscat for a moment, because there's more to unpack there too. We're talking about a manager who knows what Rangers means. He's worn the shirt, felt the pressure, lived the expectation. That matters. And he's not just being thrown into the job without support. Former Rangers winger Neil McCann is expected to join his backroom team, adding another layer of familiarity and connection to the club's identity. There's also been talk of a 7-figure compensation package being finalized with Shanghai Port. The Chinese club Muscat is currently leading to a potential league title. The respect between the clubs seems to be mutual, with Rangers agreeing to wait until after Shanghai's upcoming match before making anything official. That's class, and shows this isn't a rushed or chaotic deal, but one that's being handled properly. Even though the announcement is likely to land over the weekend, the Rangers board already seems confident that the transition will go smoothly. Muscat might not be in the dugout immediately. He could stay in China until November, but the groundwork is being laid. In the meantime, under-19 coach Stephen Smith will take charge of the first team for the upcoming clash against Dundee United, while decisions around the Europa League tie and the domestic schedule will be made as things develop. Let's not forget, Rangers are heading into a brutal run of fixtures. Kilmarnock, Hibernian, and that massive League Cup clash against Celtic are all on the horizon. This is a pressure cooker situation, and the timing of Muscat's arrival, or delay, could play a huge role in how the rest of the year shapes up. You also have to look at how the boards handled this. After Russell Martin was let go, just 17 matches into his tenure, there was a real fear among the supporters that the club had lost its way. Vice Chairman Andrew Kavanagh and board member Parag Marathe released an open letter, taking responsibility, vowing to make things right, and promising a manager who could restore pride at Ibrox both domestically and in Europe. That's a big statement. Now they have to deliver on it. Muscat might not have been everyone's first choice, but the fact that they've moved swiftly, secured their man, and shown a level of respect and professionalism throughout the process, that's a step in the right direction. Muscat's coaching record speaks for itself. Success in Australia with Melbourne Victory. A league title in Japan with Yokohama F. Marinos. Now top of the table in China with Shanghai Port. This isn't some inexperienced rookie stepping into the spotlight. This is a coach who's earned his shot. And for him, it's personal too. A return to the club where he made his mark as a player. A chance to lead them back to the top, not just in Scotland, but on the European stage as well. With the spotlight firmly on Kevin Muscat's impending arrival, there's a growing sense that Rangers are finally beginning to map out a clear route forward. But clarity on paper doesn't always mean smooth sailing on the pitch. This next stretch will be a serious test, not just of the incoming manager's ability to steady the ship, but of the club's entire structure, from recruitment to leadership and, most crucially, dressing room mentality. Let's not sugarcoat it. Russell Martin's short reign left behind more questions than answers. 17 matches, inconsistent results, a playing style that never quite settled, and a fan base that grew restless with every passing week. He was a gamble from the beginning, and in the end, it didn't pay off. The fallout from that decision now puts a heavy burden on Muscat's shoulders. He's not just here to manage. He's here to repair, rebuild, and reignite belief. But here's the catch. He's walking into a dressing room that's been through turbulence. Confidence isn't exactly flowing, and while there's talent in this squad, there's also an underlying fragility that's been exposed time and time again. Muscat's known for his intensity, for demanding discipline, and for implementing a high-press, high-energy style of play. But that system only works if the players buy in. And right now, that buy-in is not guaranteed. That's why the first few weeks will be crucial, not just for results, but for setting the tone, laying down the law, and establishing who's in and who's out. He'll also need to work fast to assess the squad. Who fits the mold? Who has the hunger to play in a Muscat system? Who's already looking at the exit door? Because let's be honest, there are players in this Rangers side who have been coasting. Too many games have slipped by without the urgency, the grit, and the leadership you expect from a club of this stature. That won't fly under Muscat. he doesn't do passengers. And then there's the issue of injuries and depth. Over the past year, Rangers have suffered more than their fair share of setbacks, with key players spending extended periods on the sidelines. Whether it's defensive lapses, lack of options in the final third, or an over-reliance on certain individuals in midfield, the cracks have shown. If Muscat's going to build a team capable of challenging on multiple fronts, especially with European football still in play, he'll need reinforcements, and fast. But here's where things get complicated. The January window is still a while away, and unless the board is prepared to release funds early or move quickly in the loan market, Muscat will have to work with what he's got. That means tactical adjustments, perhaps repurposing certain players into new roles, and squeezing every bit of value out of the current squad. It won't be easy, but if anyone's shown the ability to adapt and innovate under pressure, it's Muscat. Now, zooming out a bit, let's talk about what his arrival means in the bigger picture. This isn't just a man coming in to win a few games. This is part of a broader attempt by the Rangers board to reset the culture of the club. After years of reactive decision-making, the appointment of Muscat hints at a more strategic vision, one rooted in a modern footballing philosophy, but still aligned with the traditions and expectations of Ibrox. That balance is difficult to strike. The fans demand trophies, dominance over domestic rivals, and respectable performances in Europe. But modern football requires more than just fire and passion. It demands a system, a plan, a structure that can outlast individual moments and create lasting success. Muscat, through his work in Asia and Australia, has proven he can implement that kind of system. His teams don't just play fast, they play smart. Patterns of play, tactical rotations, pressing triggers, it's all mapped out, rehearsed, and executed with discipline. Whether he can translate that success to Scottish football remains to be seen, but there's no doubt he brings a clear identity to the table, something that's been sorely lacking at Rangers in recent times. Supporters, for their part, are cautious. And who can blame them? They've seen too many false dawns, too many managerial appointments heralded as the one, only to unravel a few months later. Muscat's reputation will buy him some goodwill, but only results will keep the faith alive. He's stepping into a goldfish bowl where every decision is scrutinized, every result magnified, and every press conference turned into a headline. He'll need to handle the heat, and history suggests he won't shy away from it. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. The buzz at Ibrox has reached fever pitch this week as whispers around Glasgow hint that Ryan Kent might be on the brink of a sensational return to the Rangers attack. Fans have been restless, craving that spark, and if the chatter on the terraces is anything to go by, Kent's comeback could light up the Premiership like never before. Sources close to the club suggest training sessions have been electric, with the winger looking sharper than ever, leaving teammates in awe with his pace, trickery, and that eye for goal that once made him a nightmare for defenders across Scotland. Though the club has remained tight-lipped, insiders claim that Kent's recovery from his recent setback has been progressing faster than expected, with glimpses of him tearing through drills at Murray Park, causing raised eyebrows among the coaching staff. He looks lethal, one source murmured, refusing to go on record. If he gets back to match fitness soon, the opposition better watch out. The murmurs are enough to get fans dreaming of a resurgence reminiscent of his explosive runs in previous campaigns. Those moments when he could single-handedly turn a game on its head, leaving defenders grasping at air. The potential return of Kent comes at a crucial moment. Rangers have been probing for consistency in attack, and the prospect of reintegrating a player of his caliber has sparked speculation not just among fans, but pundits too. Social media is alive with conjecture. Could Kent, with his blistering runs down the flanks, revive the title challenge, or even add depth to European ambitions? The buzz suggests he may not only return but do so in style, potentially slotting straight back into the starting 11 and reigniting the fierce counter-attacking play that has been the club's hallmark. While no official announcement has been made, the sheer volume of whispers in the Glasgow football scene points to one thing: Ryan Kent is coming back. And if the murmurings are accurate, Rangers supporters might just be about to witness a winger reborn, ready to set the pitch alight once more. The thought alone is enough to send hearts racing and tabloids spinning. With Ibrox abuzz, one thing's certain. The air is thick with expectation, and if Kent hits the ground running, the Premiership might never see a burst like this again. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.